Hi everyone, Amazing here. Welcome to my free data analysis course right on this YouTube channel using Excel. Today I'm going to take you on how to create this beautiful analysis. We are going to be analyzing shark data, like shark attack data. You can see shark attacking people, swallowing people, and actually eating people or causing injury all everywhere. And we have over 5,000 rows of data right here to be analyzed, and we want to actually draw a lot of insights right here. So we have some of the insight pre-formatted. We're going to be going through this with very ease. Okay, right, what is going to happen right now is that when you look at the data we have right here, it's actually non-financial data, and it does not really contain any measure at all. Instead, we have dimension. In case you don't know what measure and dimension is all about, let me take you through what it is. So dimension are categorical fields like age, state, name, and countries, etc., while measure are driven by figures or numbers that gives meaning to dimensions. Now you know what it is. When we start this, I'm going to actually tell you what it is in a deep way. Okay, now to those of you who are going to be getting employed a non-financial company where you have to analyze data that has nothing to do with financial aspects, so you will be able to actually get to understand what is going on right here and how we can analyze this huge text and turn it into an informative an interactive report whatsoever. So now, are we very sure to begin? Now let's begin because I'm ready. So the first thing is the data right here. I don't love to actually create my pivot table like this. So I want to use pivot table to analyze this. I'm going to click on pivot table, and it's going to ask me if I want new sheet or existing sheet. I'm going to say, okay, I want new sheet. It's going to default to new sheet. And every single time I have to create my pivot table, I will need my data set over and over. That is exactly what I don't really want. And first thing first is for me to actually, I'm going to make sure this one goes down because we have a lot of data, as I've told you earlier before now. And what I'm going to do right now is just to turn this into an official Excel table. Control T will help us to do that. Can you see that? That is Control T. Or you can go to the top level right here and click on Insert, and you see Pivot and you see Table right here. When you click on the table, you still see the same thing. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, now we've just gotten this ready. We might feel like, okay, we want to actually play around to see how the look can actually look up. Well, I don't concern myself about that though. I'm gonna say, okay, now we are on design mode and we see table right here. I'm gonna type data or table right here. So you can see you have to understand how you wrote the data table so that when you are trying to actually make a reference to this, it will be very easy for you. I'm going to hit OK. So right now we can go ahead and create our first pivot table to analyze this data. So I'm going to click on EL view, and here we go. Those are what we really wanted from the EL view. So now how do we go about this? Move this away from here right now. So we've seen a lot of it. So we can actually place our cursor right here, and what we're going to do right now is just for we to click on Alt NV, and we have the pivot table pops out for us. Exactly, this is exactly what we needed. Alt NV, and it's thinking that we want to use this particular data to create this, but never. I'm going to actually clear it out and actually have to put the table we have named right here, which is data table. So that is exactly what it is. And now what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to click on OK. And here we have our first pivot table created. So we don't have to go back to the data before we have it created. And the first thing we need is actually the year. I'm going to drag this down to this particular row level. And we have it grouped already for us, which we don't really need the grouping. So I'm going to drag it away from here because all I need is just the year. And the next thing is the case number. I'm going to have to drag the case number right here, which is this right here, and the case number is just going to give us how many cases do we have in 1900, and in 1901 how many shark attack do we really have. And before we actually go ahead and do anything, we can try to format this so that whoever comes to this report will definitely know what this particular column is talking about. Okay, there I hit my analyze right here and go to report layout. I'm going to click on tabular form, and here we have it, and this is exactly what it is. So this is giving us the count of cases we have all over. And if you look at what we have right at the top level right here, they said filter down to the most recent year, at least from 2015 and above. So I'm just going to go down and I'll locate where I have my 2015, and here is my 2015. Okay, oh, sorry. I think they're trying to talk about 2005. Okay, I'm going to use 2005. I'm just going to highlight that particular specific aspect. And once I have done that, what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to go to filter. Watch what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to say filter only selected item. Once I hit OK, I go to the top level. I think I'm gonna have it from 2005. So we have to change this to 2005. So exactly, this is exactly what it is. So 2005 is the latest. So now we can see how many cases we have in these years. And right now we have to drag more of this into here. I'm going to drag more of this because we want to see more view. And I'm going to still drag one more of it right here. Now we here created a measure for us because we don't have any measure existing in our real data set. So now we created our measure, and our measure is going to be default to what to count, and from count we can actually make sure we turn into what we really wanted. And any of this particular dimension here can create our measure for us. We are not restricted to case numbers alone. Okay, right now we have this. The next we're going to be doing right now, I'm just going to have this closed because I'm done with here. And the next thing is just for me to show it as percentage of column total. So we just have to click on this and actually go to view as, and I'm gonna go right here, and you can see this right now. Now if you want to see where we have the highest case right on this particular data set, what you need to do is just to actually right click on this, and where you have to go is to go to sort, and from sort don't use any of this, instead use more setting option. And what you're gonna do from descending, and you have to click, and we have to locate that particular percentage, which is the second one right here. I'm just gonna click and say okay. Now you see in 2015 we have 10.02%, 9.16%, 9.1%. Those are the three top year where we have much shark attack in the data set we have right here. Can you see this? This is some kind of something very interesting. And the inside is actually coming out very seriously. So the next thing we're gonna do right now, we want to see the running total. I'm just gonna do it and show you what running total is all about. Now what you need to do is just to right click on it and go to this particular show value as, and you locate the running total. We have the running total right here, and once we click on it, it's going to tell us, okay, do we want the running total by this field year right here? I'm going to hit on OK. There we have it. So now what the running total is talking about is actually adding this particular two up for us and say between 2015 to 2011, how many cases do we have? We have 266 cases of shark attack, and if we actually add it up down to 2018, it's going to tell us that we have 753 total cases of shark attack right here. Okay, now have we just gotten this right now? So we want to see it by ranking. By ranking, it's still going to work like the percentage we have right here, but that is under insight entirely. And what we can do right now is just that we have to explore what we can use everything we have right here for. Now we are going to use ranking, and where is the ranking? We have to locate where we have our ranking at, and we have ranking from smallest to largest, or from largest to smallest. Okay, let us use from largest to smallest. You can explore the remaining one. Now we want to use the year dimension right there. Okay, we have it right here, and this is what it's giving us. Okay, now if we look at this, 2015 is actually one of the highest year where we have much more, and it's giving us one rankings, two ranking, three ranking. And if it had go to the 11th ranking right here, it's actually this year 2010 where we have 1 or 2. That is the lowest shark attack we had ever. So now we are done with what our boss want to say based on this view right now, and we can go ahead and show our boss that okay, this is what we have done right here. I don't want to concern myself much about the heading right here. You can actually make sure the heading tallies with what the analysis you have right in this. Okay, let us go to the next level, which is attackers activity. What are they doing when they got attacked? That is exactly what we want to actually show right here. And you know what to do is just Alt N V in a very speedy way. We're gonna have it right here. Now we have the pivot table just gotten created for us, and we have to remember what we have to type in. I think it's gonna be data table. So once I hit enter, I'm gonna have my pivot table created without me visiting the data sort or the data source again. And now we have activity. First of all, I'm gonna drag my number activity case number right here. I'm going to locate my activity. I'm going to actually drag my activity right here, and this is what we have right on this. Okay, if you look at this, we have, I'm going to actually have to close this right now. We can see we can't really go and view this at the same time, but there is a way to format this. How can you format this? All you just have to do, I'm just going to go to the top level right here and view. I'm going to pull this particular header on, and here we go. I'm gonna have to make sure I highlight the whole thing and right click on it, and I'm gonna go to column width. Once I click on column width, I'm gonna make it 20. you can see it's gonna fit on the screen right now. Can you see that? It fits on the screen with immediate effect right here. And what I'm gonna do right now is that, okay, attack activities shows that what the attackers were doing before they got attacked. Right now, I'm just gonna sort it by this number, by this case number right here. I want to see some other view. Okay, I'm gonna sort descending. I'm going to start it by this, and I'm going to hit OK. Now it's going to actually still do the same thing. And if you want to avoid this to happen, there is something you can do. Before we go on, I'm just going to actually make sure I do the same thing I did before, and I'm going to put it on 20, and I'm going to hit OK. And what I'm going to do right now to avoid that to happen again, every single time we make a filter, we don't want to actually, get to do that again. I'm just going to click right here, and I'm going to actually make sure I come right here and deselect this, and I hit OK. Whatever I'll do right now is going to stand still or stay still whatsoever. So right now we can see this right here. Okay, what we have, right, we have surfing, what people were doing before they got attacked. We have surfing, we have swimming, and we have fishing. I'm going to show you what surfing, swimming all about, that people just got prone to be attacked by those sharks. Okay, as you can see right here, we have some people who are surfing, some people who are waiting, and we have some scuba diving and that got attacked, and we have some spearfishing people that got attacked by shark and stuff like that. So that is exactly what we have right here. We have people swimming, and we have this actually is not actually given. So we have fishings, and all those have actually shown you on the image I have right here. And those are the activities that leads to the shark attack, that leads the shark to actually attack them. And you might really want to show the top ones. So I can actually go ahead and actually make sure I stop right here, and you know what we've done previously before. Now just keep this, and here we have it. So we can see the top one right here, and if you want to filter this zero away, you know what to do. You just have to come right here and select it, and once we click, and we have this. Now we have a nice view to show to our boss and all of that, and we have this image to help us to guide our boss through what they were doing before they got attacked. And you know what it is, when you actually walk through water, so you're not actually swimming, but you're just walking through water, and you can get attacked in a very deep ocean or river, whatsoever it is. So right now we are done with this, and I want to actually view this by gender. And what I'm going to do right now, I don't want to go ahead and actually create this over and over again. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to make sure I have this treated nicely before I go right to the next level. So in tabular form, I think this is cool. I can actually go ahead and copy this from here right now, and I'm going to click on copy, and I'm going to go to gender, and here we go. I'm going to have to paste this right in here, and all I have to change is actually just this. So we have the total case right here for gender, and I'm going to go ahead and actually make sure I turn on the field list right here, and I'm gonna make sure I go to the top level right here and go to view, and from view I want to show these headings, and here we go, so that I can actually adjust this right. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna drag away the activities away from here, and I want to show my gender just like what we have right here. And once I have my gender shown, I'm gonna drag more of this particular case number right in here, and now I can have this closed, then I can expand this right. So now what we want to see is this analysis will show us, okay, so I'm gonna actually make sure I have this particular place edited. So this analysis will show us who among the two genders are prone to shark attack, and maybe why, whatsoever. So now let us delve in deep into this, and I'm going to show this as what, as percentage of column total. So now we have this. So where can we spot right here? Now we can see that the male gender is prone to a shark attack than the female gender. Maybe because they go to this, they go play around with water, swimming and stuff like that. They are very much prone because they leave the house more than the female gender and stuff like that. They have 89.74%, while the female gender is just 10.26%, which is very low compared to this particular percentage we have right here. So we've just created this analysis, and it's cool. So can you see this? This is how simple it is to actually use this data to get very huge insight. Can you see how we are trying to break this down? We are breaking this down into a very explainable and understandable analysis. Now we've just gotten this done, and our boss is going to be amazed. So whatever company you're working in, any data you get, you can actually work ahead and see what you can do to get it seen. So now I can actually copy this away from here to the next part of this, so that it doesn't have to go and create more new pivot table over and over again. I can now paste this right here, and here we go. Okay, right now I'm gonna move this away from here right now. What I'm gonna be doing now, you want to see it by age, so which means if I put this on right now, I have to actually move this away, and I want to go to age right here, age. Okay, if I go to age, I want to move this particular uh case number away because I don't want the percentage to be used. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to turn on this particular header. Okay, what we have to see right here is this. I have to close this right now. We want to create a chart to show us what we want to see. Okay, now we said they said there are unknown edges. Kindly remove to have a smooth analysis. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna walk down to this end. So here we do not have the record of the edges of the people that got affected. So I'm gonna hit on OK right here. I have it filtered. And what I'm going to do right now, the age analysis will indicate the age group that are much affected in the history of shark attacks. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to create a very nice chart from this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the top level right here, analysis, and go to pivot chart. And here is the kind of chart I want to create, and I'm going to actually have this. You will see how this chart can actually well explain what we really wanted. I'm just going to make sure I go by this, so I have to make it smaller. So now we can see I'm going to remove this particular filter away from here, and I'm going to have to get this. You can put your title right on top of this, but we don't need it. We know what we're analyzing already. We have it here already. So I'll make it some kind of smaller so that we can actually get the kind of view we really wanted. So now if you can see where we have much attack is from 12, age of 12 down to the age of 30. We have attack to a 30, 36. So we still have, but it's declining from 36, it's declining down. So the older people are not very much prone to shark attack. And we have from the younger age, the very younger age, 1 to 6, they're not much prone. Even 1 to 12, they're not much prone, because if you look at this from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between. Here we can see we have some of the age group that are not really present in between, so but we have them in between. So this graph actually shows us where we have much people to get attacked by this particular shark whatsoever. Now this is what it is. By creating this chart, it's gonna make your data to be very much readable. Can you spot this? We can't put the data label right here, because if we do that, it's gonna actually mess the whole thing up. Can you see that? So instead, by hovering over this, it can actually tell us that okay, 142 is by the age of 17, and when we come right here, age of 18 carried 139, and you see this one is actually above all this. And 87, there are people that cannot leave their houses, and if they actually got to where this particular shark is, they are prone to be consumed by the shark because of what they are not as smart as the younger ones, but still, because the younger ones goes to the water side very much, so they are very prone to be attacked by sharks. So we are just done with this right now. We can go ahead to see it by location, and what I'm gonna do again is actually I'm gonna copy the age, gender right here. I'm gonna have it copied. I'm gonna go to the location aspect right here, and I'm gonna have it pasted right here and actually change it to what I really wanted. So go and actually make sure you move it away from here, and we're gonna put our location right here, and here we go. And I'm gonna actually have to now what we're gonna do right now is this. So we have to actually make sure we filter this, and I'm gonna go to search. I'm gonna actually go to this more, and I'm gonna set it descending, and I'm gonna go by this. Here we go. Now we have a blank, and this blank, what blank means is actually that the blank is telling us that we don't really have any record of the location that we are actually analyzing. So because we don't have any location right on this particular aspect, what we need to do right now is to move it away to make our analysis very clear. And I'm going to actually have it moved away. I'm going to click on OK right now, and I want to pick the top locations alone. I'm going to pick from here for we to create our analysis. So we're going to pick from here, but we can still actually duplicate this so that our boss can still look at this and see all that. But I think to have a very clean analysis is one we pick from here, and it's very simple for we to actually get it done. I'm going to actually have to use this right now, and this is exactly what it is right here. Okay, fine, we've just gotten this done, and we might want to see the full location. What we need to do is just to go to view, and from view we actually put the header on, and we can actually make sure we expand it right. Now this is what we're seeing, and we can see the percentage. So 51% is actually from this particular location right here. This is exactly what it is. Now we have seen how we can actually deal with this kind of analysis. So the next thing we're gonna do right now is just to copy this away from here right now down to the next one. We're gonna actually have to analyze. So go to injury, and once we actually hit this particular sheet right here, we have to drop this right in here and actually make sure we turn on the field list. So here we have it. We have to get the location away, and now we have to go to injury. This is one of the most beautiful part I really love most. And once we actually hit this part right here, I want to create filter to be used alongside with what we have right here. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to move the percentage away because right now the percentage is not going to be something that we really need to take a look at. So now once we actually do that, we're going to apply filter like fertile, and actually gender. I'm going to go to gender. I'm going to actually add a slicer. Here we go. We have a slicer added. I'm going to make it smaller. So the next slicer I want to add right now is actually going to be this particular. I'm going to go down a little bit. I'm going to add this slicer right here, add slicer, and I'm going to make it some kind of a little bit smaller as well. So I'm going to actually make sure I have this slicer right here. Okay, right now we want to actually make sure we actually sort it the way we used to sort it previously. I think you understand what that is. So just start it descending and hit OK. Right now we have this right here. Okay, now we have gotten this sorted, right? And we don't want it to actually get to some kind of adjust itself every single time we place a filter. We just want to come right here and make sure we have this selected. It's going to be selected, so just deselect it and click on OK. So right now we can see that we have some fertile that are very fertile that might survive or not survive to be 510 among the whole 5,000 data we have right here, 5,000 rows of data we have right here. How many people got survived is just 86 people got survived. No injury is 74, and foot beater. I'm just gonna go right here and actually make sure I have this turned up, and I'm gonna make sure I get this. Oh, okay. That is really too much. I can't read this. I'm gonna go right on the column, and I'm gonna set the column weight to 25. To 25. I'm gonna hit enter, and here we have it. Exactly, I can read this now, so we can see what we have right here. I'm gonna make sure I go this way to have it view nicely, and now we can see what we want to see is actually if it is fertile, it's gonna give me yes, and here we go. So those are all the fertile cases we have, and the total is 510, and we have fertile body not recovered 21. That means this person is dead, right? These people here are dead, and we want to check how many male and how many female, and we can see when we check that, we can see what is going on right here. You can see 21, and when we clear the filter, we can see what we have right here. So that are not fertile, survived, no injury, foot beating, leg beating, left foot beating, and no details right here. There are no detail about if they are survived or not whatsoever. Now this is one of the beautiful things we need to actually get to look at. This is huge, right? This is huge. So I love this. So now you can see how we can actually make sure we analyze this data with just pivot table. We're able to dive in deep into shark analysis. We take a shark data, just a data without measure, with just dimensions that we have right here. We turn it into a very good insight, and we're able to create a report. And maybe because they want to avoid something in the future or whatsoever, now this analysis can actually drive them deep into what it can do to actually avert any subsequent danger that is actually coming their way in a various country. So right now there are some of the part of this particular data set that we've not touched. So we have the country, we have the area right here, we have the location, and all that. So we can actually go ahead and make sure we see how we can analyze this. So specifically, if you want to see where we have the most highest shark attack in the country and the area and the location, so you want to have to go and download this data set and actually walk through it and see how you can actually do to analyze your data and to actually make sure you see how if this is provoked or unprovoked whatsoever, all of that. So dive deep, we have more insight to be drawn. I want to stop my report right here, or my analysis right here. In the next tutorial, we're going to be talking much more about a different data set that we can actually use to throw more analysis into what it is that is in line with our data analysis. I still remain Omeza, so thank you very much for watching. If you still want to see more of this kind of video, give this a thumbs up if you are a returning subscriber. leave a comment. If this is your first time, you know what to do. You just have to hit on the subscribe button to stay put right on this channel, because I'm going to be coming away with a lot of data analysis tutorial using Excel, Power BI, and even SQL in no time. So thank you for watching. Stay blessed and stay out of trouble.